Log SQL statements in Spring Boot. Here is your same structured, beginner-friendly content for Log SQL statements in Spring Boot, intermediate level, database debugging and monitoring. Introduction. When working with databases in a Spring Boot application, using Spring Data, JPA, or Hibernate, queries are generated automatically. Sometimes, developers need to see the actual SQL queries, debug database issues, analyze performance, verify generated queries. This is where SQL logging becomes important. What does log SQL statements mean? Logging SQL means printing database queries executed by your application. In simple terms, SQL logging equals showing the actual SQL queries in logs. Example, select star from users, where ID equals 1. Logging helps developers debug incorrect queries, verify ORM behavior, track performance issues, understand database interactions. Example concept. Application means ORM, means SQL, means database logging shows the SQL layer default behavior. By default, Spring Boot does not show SQL queries in logs. You must enable it manually. Ways to log SQL in Spring Boot. 1. Using application.properties, basic logging. Configuration spring.jpa.show-sql, true. spring.jpa.properties.hibernate.format.sql, true. Output example. Select user0.id as id100, user0.name as name200. From user0. Explanation show SQL means enables SQL printing. Format SQL means formats output to. Logging SQL with parameters. Important. The above method does not show query parameters. To log parameters, configuration logging level.org.hibernate.sql equal debug. Logging level.org.hibernate.type.descriptor.sql basic binder equals trace. Output example, select I from users, where ID equals question. Binding parameter 1 as integer, 5. Explanation SQL means shows query, basic binder means shows parameter values 3. Using application.yml configuration, Spring JPA, show-sql true, properties Hibernate, format SQL true. Logging, level, org.hibernate.sql. Debug, org.hibernate.type.descriptor.sql basic binder. Example concept. YAML means structured configuration for. Using Hibernate logging only, preferred. Instead of show SQL, use logging levels. Configuration logging, level, org hibernate.sql equals debug. Example concept. Logging framework means better control than show SQL 5. Pretty logging with highlight configuration, spring jpa.properties.hibernate.highlight SQL true. This improves readability in logs. 6. Logging with P6 Spy, advanced. For advanced logging, use P6 Spy. Benefits. Logs full SQL with parameters cleaner output. Supports multiple databases. Example output. Select star from users, where ID equals 5. Example concept. P6 Spy means production level SQL logging. Difference between show SQL and logging feature. Show SQL logging. Basic SQL, yes. Parameters, no, yes. Control, limited, flexible, recommended. Example concept. Show SQL means simple logging, means powerful, real-world example repository. Public interface, user repository, extends JPA repository, user long. Method call, user repository.findById, 5L. Logged output, select star from users, where ID equals P. Binding parameter 1 as bigint, -5. Logging SQL can impact performance. Important notes. Avoid SQL logging in production. Use debug only in dev environment. Large queries can slow logs. Example concept. More logging means slower performance. Best practice. Use profiles. Application dev.properties. Logging.level.org.hibernate.sql equals debug. Application.prod.properties. Logging.level.org.hibernate.sql equals error. Example concept. Dev means detailed logs. Prod means minimal logs, common mistakes, expecting parameters with show-sql. It only prints query, not values. Using trace in production. Too verbose and slow. Logging sensitive data. Avoid logging passwords or tokens. Example concept. Careful logging means secure application. Advantages of SQL logging. Advantages include easier debugging, better understanding of ORM performance tuning, query validation. Example concept. See, SQL means fix issues faster. Limitations. Challenges include performance overhead, large logs, security risks. Example concept. Too much logging means cluttered logs. Concepts learned. How to log SQL in Spring Boot. Hibernate logging configuration. Difference between show-sql and logging. Logging query parameters. Production best practices. Simple definition. SQL logging in Spring Boot. Displaying SQL queries generated by the application and logs for debugging and monitoring. Final summary. Spring Boot allows you to log SQL statements using spring.jpa.show-sql basic. Hibernate logging levels recommended. Advanced tools like P6Spy. For real-world applications, using logging levels is the best approach because it provides full SQL visibility, parameter logging, flexible control. Understanding SQL logging is essential for debugging, performance tuning, and database development.